a few weeks ago, uh, this boxer, Keyshawn Davis, he had a boxing match versus a guy from Ukraine, right?
Mm,
And they were fighting for the WBO lightweight title in New York. And, to promote the fight, they have these press conferences and whatnot, and promoting the fight. We get fans to come out to watch and get people excited.
mm-hmm.
So the week leading up to the fight was on a Friday. This was probably like 2, 3 weeks ago now. Uh, Keyshawn, he gets a package to his door, right? So when he opens the package, it's bananas and
Oh,
watermelons, right?
mm, I heard about
So
this.
right, so Keyshawn, he thinks it's the his opponent who sent him this. His opponent is from Ukraine. Um, I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try because I don't want to butcher it.
Understandable.
So this is the week leading up to the fight. So he get this package early in the week. The next press conference he has, he's going off against his opponent, calling him a racist, saying you sent me this package with bananas and a watermelon in it, and he's going off on this guy, on his opponent, because he thinks he sent him the package.
Yep.
Turns out it was not him at all. It was a different boxer who sent them the package. Timmy Timofo Lopez. He's a Hispanic boxer, and
Okay.
he's the one who actually sent Keyshawn the package.
So did he say
And
why he did that?
well, he trying to antagonize him. He wants to fight him. The thing is, this is not the first time Timo Lopez has done this. He has done something similar to this in the past.
Oh,
So this is starting to become a trend. Because he's doing it to trying to get in other people's skin so to fight them. Like,
yeah,
but
but he don't even have
you,
a
you,
fight
you
with this dude right now.
no, he doesn't. Like, you're going about this the wrong way. I was like that's racist. Like, why would you do that? Like,
Yeah.
what if Keyshawn sent you a boxes? This
So
doesn't
see
go a
it
lot of
or
different
something
ways.
like that.
All right,
Yeah.
like what are you doing? I mean, Keyshawn has already came out saying he's not going to fight Timu Lopez.
Yeah, you're not even
Uh,
getting the fight, so you doing this for no reason.
right, because he said he's racist and he's not going to fight him because that would be helping him out by putting millions in his pocket if Keyshawn actually
Exactly.
boxes him. Uh, but yeah, this is not to say first time Timu Lopez has done this. Um, it's crazy. Boy, uh, this was another boxer, Garcia. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name, but he like a year or two, he was having a boxing match coming up, and he was just tweeting out some really crazy things. He went on like a Twitter rant like Kanye, just saying
Mm.
some a bunch of crazy stuff. His last name is Garcia. I can't remember his first name right now. But yeah, he went on a Twitter rant saying about a bunch of racist things, and then he would blame it on his said he was about blaming it on his mental health, and yeah, these boxes is weird, man. They Ryan Garcia, that was his name,
Okay.
because he was fighting another boxer, Javante Davis. Yes, they had a match coming up, and then Ryan Garcia ended up winning that fight. But
Hmm.
then it came out that Ryan Garcia was taking steroids afterwards. So he, essentially he won a match, but he essentially lost the match because they found out he was taking steroids.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan Garcia, he went on this Twitter rant like Kanye saying all this wild stuff, racist stuff, and these boxers, I mean, they wild, man. Is
Yeah.
I,
I,
I I don't like I know in the past when we was growing up, boxing was like a major sport around the
mm-hmm.
world. Like you knew who was the heavyweight champion, or you knew who the top boxers was.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, like I don't follow boxing like that, but you don't you don't know who these boxers are. Like I've heard a few of these boxers' names, but it's nothing before where you knew where you
Yeah,
had
you
Mike
knew they were
Tyson,
household names.
like Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, when I said it was Evander Holyfield. It's like you
Yeah,
knew who these boxers were. Floyd
exactly.
Mayweather. Like now you don't know who these guys are, and someone was going to crazy lengths to promote their fights, but these two is going about it the wrong way.
Yeah,
I, I mean, it generates because controversy sells, so it's putting more eyes on the sport, but not in a good way.
true, true. Yeah,
So
but you didn't
yeah,
even have a fight with this dude. So why are you doing it? Like this,
right.
you don't have a fight at this time. So it makes
Yeah,
no sense for you to be doing this.
it was really weird and wild.
Like, has this worked for him in the past? Like, did people like, yeah, I gotta fight him now because he did this to me? Like, that's the only reason for you to keep doing this because it worked one time. It
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. So now that dude beat up that other dude for no reason. He beat him
well
because
he
I heard he beat him bad.
he beat him bad, but he found out before the fight it wasn't
Okay,
him who
okay,
sent it. But it
okay.
was like after the package got sent, they had a press conference after that. He was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass,
Yeah,
you racist!
I
You
seen
sent me that
that.
package. I'm gonna f you up." He was
He
like, "What?
was
No, I
furious.
didn't." He was like, "No, I didn't do that. I had nothing to
That,
do with that."
that man had no idea because he had his translator, didn't he? He had his translator, and he was like, "You ain't saying that." He was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass up. You ain't saying
Yeah,
that." Yeah,
yeah,
I seen
yeah,
that. That was wild. Like that's messed up.
yeah,
Dang. And this man didn't even do any of this, but he did. He still had he still had that anger going in that fight. Of course, it's
yeah.
not for that man at that point, but he like I might as well use it towards you to help me in this fight. Um, dang, that's crazy. That just
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense.
I should not. I didn't just want to spend too much time on those two boxers' races
That
tactics.
is
But
wild though.
let me just give you a little more facts about Keyshawn Davis. I mean, um, so he is 13-0 with 9 KOs, and he won a belt. He won the belt. He won a belt in his 14th professional fight. I mean, that tied Oscar De La Hoya for the third fewest fights he needed to win a lightweight world title. Uh, I mean, Keyshawn Davis, he's a good boxer, and I mean, he's undefeated.
Hmm.
And it's just a shame that this is how. I mean, if you're a boxer fan, you already knew who he is. But for me, it's like this is a shame. That's how I'm finding out about this kid is because of somebody else and their racist tactics, and not because he's a good boxer. And also from a little research I've done, um, boxing and it's getting back to boxing as a sport itself. Um, it seems like the good boxers really don't fight each other because from what it seems like everybody wants to be Floyd Mayweather. And what I mean by that is they want to have a perfect record. Like everybody's afraid to lose, so you don't have the top boxers fight the top boxers,
Yeah.
which is probably why we really don't know any of these boxers these days. like I said, off the top of my head, I could probably name like three or four of the
Yeah.
boxers. Terrence Crawford, like I know he's pretty good. Uh, Canelo, but he's been boxing for a while.
Okay.
He Canelo is 34. Like he's a pretty good boxer. Um, Shakira Stevenson's, I've heard of him. Javante Davis, who's another pretty good boxer. He's 30. Um, but yeah, it seems like everybody wants to be Floyd and have this perfect record, but it's like you look at history, like some of the greats don't have. I mean, Muhammad Ali got knocked out. Mike Tyson got knocked out. I mean, it's okay to lose a fight. Like it's part
Yeah.
of the sport because boxing is a very brutal sport. Like at any given night, you know, you can get knocked out. Like these guys need to be stopped being so scared of fighting each other and just fight. Go ahead and
Very
keep them
true.
paper run them numbers up. That's the reason why I got like Jake Paul can just come out of nowhere and run up the numbers because I sure he's fought some old boxers and some who's not relevant, but it's entertainment. Like he's able to run up the numbers, and I feel like if I'm a boxer, I would take that as a disrespect. Like who would this YouTuber just come in the game and just start boxing and he's getting paid all these millions? It's like, well, y'all can do the same if y'all would actually fight each other.
Promote your sport. Yeah.
Stop
Promote your
ducking each
sport.
other. So
Like,
yeah, that
he is promoting the sport. Unfortunately, he is bringing people to the sport again. I don't know if it's just for the moment or will it last, but he doing what y'all should be doing, bringing people to the sport.
right because it sounds like we got excited seeing Jake Paul fight a 50-something-year-old Mike Tyson.
Yeah, we just got excited to see Mike Tyson in the ring. Really care
Right,
about Jake Paul, but
it's like if these top boxers would fight each other, like y'all should have that excitement. Like you had a 20
yeah,
some year old fighting a 50-some-year-old. Like, come on, man.
yeah, y'all
As
can't
a
be not
boxing
fighting
as
each
a
other trying to keep a record. No,
right,
y'all need eyes on y'all boxing. So if y'all ain't doing that, y'all not doing your job. So
right. As fans, we want to see the best going against the best. So
I mean, it is hard to compete with MMA. Like it's brutal. It's brutal. And them guys put them like you could be a star one minute and then beat to a pope the next minute. Like they stars keep elevating so fast, so they got
mhm.
new guys every time. Boxing is such um, a precise athletic thing to do. Like it takes a while to become good, and you got to do reps to do that. MMA, yes, you get punched, but you could be a great jiu-jitsu guy and submit people and not take that kind of abuse and get to practice that craft a lot easier than practicing boxing. So
But also MMA, like especially UFC, Dana White runs that. He's going to
yeah,
give the fans the fights they want to see.
he understands it's all about entertainment. Like
Right. He knows the fights that the fans want to see. And he give us that. That's why the UFC has sustained as long as they has. Where I
very
feel like,
true.
unfortunately, boxing, in my opinion, along with baseball, is kind of like a diet sport.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
just my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I feel like those two are diet sports. I mean, we all know
true.
that football is the number one sport in America. Um,
Yeah,
I think I think behind that is basketball, and
I think
basketball is
maybe hockey might be. Well,
what I'm
are we
talking
talking?
about.
Are we talking
Just
about
America, just
being
America.
televised? Or are we talking about selling tickets?
No, I'm just talking about American sports in general.
Well, hockey. Well, technically, hockey is not an American sport.
like like globally, the number one sport is soccer.
Yeah,
Football is
yeah,
just an American sport. Like yeah,
true. Football is America. Baseball is I would say baseball
Baseball's
is America
baseball's
and
global.
basketball is America. They were made in America, I would say. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, football is the number one sport in America with 37% of America declaring it as their favorite sport to watch.
okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, they gotta figure out something to do. Y'all gotta build up these names, and then y'all gotta fight these big name guys against each other. That's how you bring in the audience to keep your store alive. That's just what it is, 100%. Mm.
actually, wait, I gotta say, I just did a quick Google search just to see what's the top sports in America.
Uh-huh.
Well, football is number one. I digress. Apparently, baseball is number two, so maybe it's not a dying sport.
Oh, really? It's bigger
But
than basketball?
basketball is number three.
Mm.
Hockey is four, and soccer is number five in the U.S.
Okay.
I know.
Baseball still holding on.
I just did a quick Google search, so I
But I
would
know
suspect
basketball done went down some there, hasn't it?
there's a lot of talks about the way the game is being played now and people being bored. And like we touched a little bit on that when we talked
Doing
about
the
the
All Star,
NBA
yeah.
All Star game, but maybe there'll be another topic we talk about different later about
Okay.
the state of basketball right now. So
Okay.
I I'm slightly biased because I'm a big NBA basketball fan, but yeah.
Understandable. Understandable. All right. So DC Studios, James Gunn has put out quite a bit of information about what they're going to be doing with their whole DC universe, DC Studios, kind of their game plan, and how they're going to go about stuff. Um, he did like a little press conference, but it wasn't like things planned, like to say stuff. He pretty much just went up there and asked people, "Hey, you got questions? Ask them," which is weird. You probably should have been a little more organized with it. So we're gonna talk about a few things he talked about, because he talked about a lot of stuff. So I might just put out stories throughout the week. I'll see, or I might just save it for the next podcast. But he talked about a lot of shows, some movies. But I'm just talk about the blueprint he wants to do for his movies, TV shows, series, year to year. So he said he wants to have two live action movies per year. So two live action DC studio movies per year. Um, I guess he means he's gonna start that next year because I only think Superman is supposed to be coming out this year. So I'm assuming this is all for next year. Because we only got Superman. I don't think we have anything else DC live action on the slate. But yeah, he wants to do two DC live action movies. He wants to do one animated movie, but it doesn't say if it's like in the theaters release movie or straight to DVD movie or streaming movie. He doesn't specify there, so that's a good question. I wish somebody would ask him that. But yeah, he wants to do one animated series movie, which I think he should have flip flopped those. I think he should do one live action DC movie that per year and two animated movies a year. I think that should have been flip flop, but that's my opinion. But he also wants to do two live action TV shows per year. So two live action DC TV show series. We know he has um, Peacemaker coming out this year. I I don't think Lanterns are going to come out this year. I think they're coming out next year. So he's got one of his shows coming out this year. Um, I don't think another live action show is coming out. Just thinking off the top of my head, don't think so, but I could be wrong. But he also wants to do two animated shows per year. So he's already had Creature Commandos come out. He has What other animated shows are coming out? Harley Quinn just came out too. The last season of Harley, not the last season, but another season of Harley Quinn came out. So he his two animated shows right there. But I think there's supposed to be another show that's coming out. I can't think about it right now. I'm blanking on it. But yeah, he's gonna have two. He wants to have two animated TV shows coming out per year. Um, he also said that he wants his. He's going for a writer director kind of feel for his movies, unlike Marvel, where they kind of get new directors and kind of put them into the Marvel, you know, machine. He wants to have writers and directors that he and make the main focus for the movies. Like he wants them to take their time and write the movies how they want to write them, direct it how they want to direct them, to make it a little more driven by them, which could be a good job. Which basically wants to be more creator driven, which could work really well. But creators sometimes don't have a business hat, and you gotta have kind of a business hat for this stuff right now. Like this is a business. Like these are stories we love that we grew up on, but ultimately it's still a business, and you gotta make a profit. That's just the way it is. But he wants to do that. He also um, wants to work towards a Justice League. I don't know how he's going to do that because he doesn't have a Wonder Woman on slate to be in that Justice League. Gal Gadot is supposed to be still playing Wonder Woman, but he's sidelined her for right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's just a little bit of the things they talked about. He's got shows he's talking about that are in production. They're still talking about making the Clayface movie. It's not going to be like the what's the name Penguin show. It's a whole movie. It's theatrical movie. So I don't know if that's a great idea. So you probably should stop there. But he is going to do that. So guys, what do you think of this kind of slate he wants to do every year? Like I said, two live action DC movies, one animated movie, two live action DC series, TV series, and two animated TV series. What do you guys think? You think that's an overload? That's at least eight, almost 7 to 8 pieces of DC content yearly. You assume those shows will probably be 8 to 10 episodes, unless they're like network shows, which then that'll be a 20 episode thing. But I think they're gonna be like HBO Max. I think they're gonna be on HBO Max. So yeah. So Marcus, what do you think about them having DC doing this whole per year slate of two live action movies, one animated movie, two live action TV series, and two animated series? You think that might be too much? Because that's something Marvel has had an issue with, where they had just too much content coming out at once, and then it became, if you didn't see this, would you understand this movie? What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
I think they got to be careful with that
Yeah.
because, and I'm just I'm gonna put this into terms where I understand it more. For me, I'm a sneakerhead. So
Hmm.
like it's like you oversaturating the market.
Yeah. Very
Like
true.
like like last year with Nike and Jordans, like certain pairs of shoes, they put out a lot of pairs, right?
Hmm.
Like like a million pair of a shoe, and you
Hmm.
oversaturate the market, then you don't have the hype for the product that you're putting out.
Very true.
And it's like, and I don't know if this is the same way in comic community like it is for the sneaker community, but us as fans, we complain that when we can't get the things that we want, right? Like
Hmm.
we want certain things. Like you guys probably want more content. Like
Hmm.
as a sneaker community, we want be able to get the shoes that we want. We want more, but then they give us more, and then it's like, well, now it's too much.
Not too much.
But like
Yeah.
now it's too much. Now you're on stage for market. Now it's a fine and thin line.
Yeah.
So it's
You
like
gotta find that
last
balance.
all right, like last year Nike put out a lot of shoes. Now this year is going back to limited releases. So now it's going
Hmm.
to be hard to get stuff as sneaker fans as of things that we want, like the signature shoe that we all want. It is now more difficult to get it in 2025 than it was in 2024 because they're not putting out as much stock. And it sounds
Hmm.
like with these guys, they've been limited stock. And sounds like this year they're putting out a lot. But I'm like I mean, and it also depends on how they roll it out. It's like, okay, you got these things, but you got to slowly roll it out
Yeah.
throughout the year. That also
Yeah.
depends on how they roll it out.
Yeah.
Because with streaming, I mean, there's a lot to watch,
There's a lot to watch. There's a
and
lot to watch. And there's a lot of
you
good
can't
stuff
watch
too.
everything at once.
Yeah, true.
And
There's the and there's a oversaturation of superhero stuff. Like for comic book people, reading different comic books, that's normal. We're okay with that. For people not into reading comic books and different comic books and Elseworld stories and stuff like that, they don't want that many comic books to have to read. So you kind of have to slowly train your audience into not only reading so much or watching so much, but getting used to watching it and being
mhm,
okay with missing some stuff. Because comic books sometimes you miss an issue and you go to the next issue and you don't know exactly what's going on, but you still can keep going. The
right,
shows is difficult. When you miss something, it's hard to go back to it, especially if it's a 10 episode series and the movie's coming out in 2 weeks about what happened in that series a little bit. Like,
mhm,
gotta be careful. Like, we're gonna talk about the other Marvels. They actually are downsizing their content production out there. So DC's like, we're gonna put you more, and Marvel's like, yeah, we're gonna push back, and we see you guys are upset. You might be having a little fatigue of too much stuff coming out and not being able
right.
to watch everything.
Yeah, sometimes less is more, if that makes sense.
Very true.
Because
Very true.
you gotta keep that peak of interest.
Yes, you got to make it a must watch. Like that's what
Right,
Marvel movies were for a long period of time. They were a must watch to make sure you kept up with the story. Like,
right.
and then they started doing series, and then it became too much to watch. So
Mhm.
it was like, you gotta figure out something here, guys. I can't. You giving me too much. Like I want to keep up, but it's too much. It's too much.
Because like for superhero movies, is there's like a time of year where you know a big release will happen, like say like the
Yes.
summer or the
Yes.
fall. Okay.
Yes, so Marvel started making the summer release, the blockbuster, summer blockbuster. They started making it to where that was their spot. And then they started to spread out from summer. Some of them hit Christmas. And then recently, Valentine's Day has
Mhm.
become like a big superhero day too, where a lot of superhero movies come out during Valentine's Day and they're getting men to take their women to the movies sometimes, and a few times there's women taking their men to the superhero movies, but mostly men
Yeah.
taking women. And they were realizing we could hit you almost 3 times a year for this big
Mhm.
movie. But now that
Yeah.
people don't, for one, have as much money as they used to have, people are
Mhm.
staying home, so now
Mhm.
they're trying to hit you with series on streaming service to keep your interest and make that one big movie you go once or twice a week, or maybe once or twice a month. That big movie be theirs. That they're fighting for that movie now. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we got really comfortable with staying home during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We're like, we could just wait for it to come home. We would just wait for it
Right.
to come to the streaming service.
Right.
So
I mean, I'm trying to think. What's the last movie I saw? Last movie I saw in the movie theaters was the last Bad Boys movie.
oh
But
wow, that's a while
but
ago.
but I saw that on a Monday at 10 a.m. because simply because I did not want to pay. for two people to get
Yeah,
into a movie is essentially the cost what they paid to go out to dinner.
yeah,
Like, I'd rather just go early in the morning and watch it. But now, like you said, now if you just wait a few weeks, it's gonna end up on the streaming service anyway. Like, I
yeah.
don't make. I'm just make that part of my date night. I'm like,
Right.
we can eat dinner at home and watch a movie on the
I bet
couch. I
you,
don't even gotta leave the
honestly,
house.
that's a whole new dinner and a movie for 2025 where everybody's gonna be on a budget. Because you know they. Side note, you know they passed the GOP Republican um, budget plan,
Yes.
and they about to hit like $4 trillion to the deficit. They're gonna add $4 trillion to the deficit or something.
Right.
And
And not to go down that road because we can go down that road and is we can go down that rabbit hole forever. But it's like the things that's getting cut are the things that most Americans need, like
exactly,
Medicare,
exactly.
uh, SNAP, food
Snap,
share,
yep. Food share,
school lunches for kids. Is
yep,
like the stuff that the poor and middle class needs.
yep,
The hot housing that
yep,
neither depends on. They cutting that, and especially like Medicaid, Medicare, like old people to see
yeah.
doctors get medicine, doing all this for what? To put more money in the hands of the
The rich people,
ultra rich,
yeah.
which
And it's gonna
which
hurt a lot of those red states that vote for that guy. It's gonna hurt a
right.
lot of
But
those red
but
states.
but like I said,
Gotta tell them that.
we can go down. Let's not go down that rabbit hole because
But
yeah.
like I said, yes, DC Studios. What do you guys think of this plan they have to do their content strategy, putting stuff out like this? Um, like I said, I might make some videos about some stuff. I just seen something. I like before we started recording. I seen another thing they put out about some movies they're probably working on. So maybe I'll do a extra video down the road during this week and talk about those a little bit, or save it for the next podcast. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below how you feel about this way they're going to do their content this year.